What's up YouTube? It's me, Jess, and I'm an opera singer. Today's video is Patron Pick of the Month, and for this month they have chosen Postmodern Jukebox featuring Aubrey Logan performing Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal. Let's go.
You've been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth criminal. A 1, 2, 3, 4. As he came into the window, it was the sound of a crescendo. He came into her apartment, he left the blood stains on the carpet. She ran underneath the table, he could see she was unable. So she ran into the bedroom, she was struck down, it was her doom. Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Okay, won't you tell us that you're okay? There's a sign in the window that he struck you a crescendo, and he came into your apartment. He left the blood stains on the carpet. You ran into the bedroom. You were struck down. It was your doom. Annie, are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? You've been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth criminal.
We gotta pause. I'm not gonna lie, I was really nervous going into listening to the song because Smooth Criminal is just too iconic. It's just one of those classics that's gonna be, I think, a classic for literally ever. And I'm a little bit biased because that is one of my favorite songs by Michael Jackson. That being said, I am pleasantly surprised. I feel like I'm always pleasantly surprised with Postmodern Jukebox, but I'm really glad that they kept the iconic musical components that are found in the original by Michael Jackson, but they changed it up well enough to where it's clearly a cover. The song is so wordy, and the rhythm of the song, the original, is so fast. You have to really chew and spit through words at a rapid rate, and that is what makes it so hard. And then on top of that, you've got the added factor of the choreography. So let's just look up the lyrics just to understand how wordy this piece is. As he came into the window, it was the sound of a crescendo. He came into her apartment. He left the bloodstains on the carpet. She ran underneath the table. He could see she was unable. So she ran into the bedroom. She was struck down. It was her doom. Okay, that's a lot of words, and there's some interesting words in there too. Crescendo, you don't hear that often. Honestly, I think this is the only song I've heard that word. He came into her apartment. He came into her apartment. He left the bloodstains on the carpet. Do you understand? Just mouthing through all of those words and going at it so fast is so hard. There's a lot of concentration and focus on the text. And I think that is so important, not only because the song is iconic, but because the song is telling a story. If you lose us on even just one line, that one line could be such a crucial part to the development of the story.
As he came into the window, it was the sound of a crescendo. He came into her apartment, he left the blood stains on the carpet. She ran underneath the table, he could see she was unable. So she ran into the bedroom, she was struck down, it was her doom. Annie, are you okay?
So I really have to commend her for chewing through all of the consonants, getting to the vowel, and then getting into whatever consonants are next, and paying a lot of attention on how you're gonna focus on that and let that also be part of the motivation to tell the story. We'll break this down into 5 different parts. We've got the opening, the first verse, the pre-chorus, the chorus, and then we'll talk a little bit about the lyrics. So the very opening, the singer comes in and sings acapella. We get no music in the background whatsoever. And she has a bit more of a freer time in terms of when she comes in, at least for the very first word. And then there's a bit more structure within the tempo as she sings through the line.
You've been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth criminal.
Then we get the band that comes in on 3 beats. It's like do, then later we get do, do. And when they come in, that shows a bit more structure, let's say, within the tempo. When they come in, it's more strict, it's consistent, and the beats are all even.
You've been hit by, you've been struck by.
She cues something, and that might be a big hint that the band is coming in, but you don't know what they're going to do. And that surprise element, I think, really adds to the drama of the storyline. Then we get Aubrey counting the band in, and she counts in a 4/4 time signature, which is the same time signature as the original by Michael Jackson.
A smooth criminal. A 1, 2, 3, 4.
I like PMJ's variation in terms of counting the band in into going into the next section because it is so different than the original. In the original, and I'm talking about the music video, there is a long intro and then you get this doom doom doo doo doo, and then it just goes right into as he came into the window, it was a sound of a crescendo. You don't really get like that clear 1, 2, 3, 4 sing. You really have to listen to that doo 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 doo. So that variation was really nice in the PMJ version, and I think that it really lends to what they're trying to accomplish in the video with this film noir style cover. I think it was just perfect. So then the band plays for a bit and then they drop out. And I love how they drop out and then it's just her to sing the very first line.
As he came into the window, it was the sound of a crescendo.
On the words a crescendo, or maybe just crescendo, the band comes back in and then plays consistently until I believe the pre-chorus.
As he came into the window, it was the sound of a crescendo.
Oh, I thought that was nice because it really did this really nice play on the word crescendo. You get this buildup of the band coming in on the word crescendo, which crescendo means going from one dynamic to another, typically from less strong to stronger, piano to mezzo forte, or just soft to louder. And so I like that the addition of the band with Aubrey starting off a cappella really plays on the idea of what a crescendo is. So then when you get to the pre-chorus, you get all of this chaos. You don't get a lot going on in terms of lyricism as you did in the very beginning.
She was struck down, it was her doom. Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
Saying the same thing over and over and over again creates this panic, I think, to me in terms of how you ask a question. And I like what the bass does during this section. The bass before, I don't believe was consistently playing on the subdivision. But when this part came in, you got the bass hitting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. He was hitting every beat and he was hitting the and of every beat.
He came into her apartment, he left the blood stains on the carpet. She ran underneath the table, he could see she was unable. So she ran into the bedroom, she was struck down, it was her doom. Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
And then I think that paired with how he was exploring the different ranges of the scale just added so much panic to an already chaotic situation. What was also cool was what Aubrey did on the very first line, Annie, are you okay? She sat on the first syllable of Annie for a little bit, and then she went right into the line in regular tempo. And all of the other Annies, she said it regularly.
She ran into the bedroom, she was struck down, it was her doom. Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
It actually makes me think of the different ways you can ask a question. And the way she sat on that first syllable for Annie made it almost seem like she was asking a question in disbelief. It's almost like when you're asking, are you okay? You kind of sit on the first word a bit when you're asking something and there's a little bit of disbelief factor in it. And I thought that was just so smooth. So the chorus has words from the pre-chorus, Annie, are you okay? Then there's new material, will you tell us that you're okay? Then all of the other lines are lines from the first verse. It's almost just like recapturing what went down during this crime scene. I love what PMJ and Aubrey did with this section. There was a clear shift in tone and there was a clear shift in emphasis. Even though the words in this section are repeated words from the chorus and the first verse, the way that questions were asked or statements were said seemed almost as if it came from a different person, as if it came from a person who was a relative of Annie or someone who was Annie's best friend. It seemed like there was more sorrow within asking the question. It still had that panic factor, but I think the personal factor of asking the question was more at the forefront, where before it almost seemed as if it was a bunch of people asking, Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Just kind of scenes from different people wondering if Annie is okay.
She ran into the bedroom, she was struck down, it was her doom. Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Won't you tell us that you're okay? There's a sign in the window that he struck you a crescendo, and he came into your apartment. He left the blood stains on the carpet. You ran into the bedroom. You were struck down. It was your doom.
This explored different emotions, and I thought that was just really nice. Last part, the lyrics. I do feel that the lyrics are easier to understand in this version, and that's for a bunch of different factors. One, in the original, there's a ton more musical components added to the overall composition, so it's more distracting on the ear. And also, in this version, there is more of an emphasis on the vocal part. I believe the vocal part is really at the forefront, and that is due to the sound engineering. And then also in this version, there is more freedom in the tempo. There are places where the singer really is able to stretch out some of the syllables and words, or where the tempo slows down a bit, and it's easier for the ear to catch all of the words. That being said, we still need to acknowledge that Aubrey did a fantastic job at pronunciation. And specifically, I want to look at the way she said the words. He came into your apartment. He left the blood stains on the carpet. Even just saying that is difficult.
It was the sound of a crescendo. He came into her apartment. He left the blood stains on the carpet. There's a sign in the window that he struck you a crescendo, and he came into your apartment. He left the blood stains on the carpet.
There are so many consonants to chew through, and you really need to spit all of those out because you're telling a story, and you can't leave words out when telling a story because then you may not get all of the components of what's happening. I thought it was just so good. Last thing to note about the lyrics. There are a lot of mixed versions of the lyrics of this song, specifically on the words, "There's a sound at the window that he struck you, a crescendo Annie." That is the line you will see most often when looking for the lyrics online. However, the real version of that line is, "There's a sign at the window that he struck you, a crescendo Annie." I appreciate that PMJ sang the correct lines.
Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Annie, Annie, are you okay? Won't you tell us that you're okay? There's a sign in the window that he struck you, a crescendo Annie.
Honestly, the main way to know that those are the correct lines is to listen to Michael Jackson performing Smooth Criminal live.
Okay, are you okay, Annie? You've been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth criminal.
Yes, piano!
So they came into the outway. It was a Sunday with a black day. Mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, sounding heartbeats, intimidation. Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Would you tell us that you're okay? There's a sign in the window that he struck you, a crescendo Annie. He came into your apartment, he left the blood stains on the carpet. So you ran into the bedroom, you were shut down, it was your doom. Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? You've been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth criminal.
Oh, wow. Woo! Oh, wow! I didn't even notice that was there.
I don't know.
Yes!
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why, baby. I don't know. Annie, are you okay? Would you tell us that you're okay? There's a sign in the window that he struck you, a crescendo Annie. He came into your apartment. He left the blood stains on the carpet. So you ran into the bedroom. You were struck down. It was your doom, Annie.
Stop it! Stop it! I totally forgot she plays the trombone. I did a video on Aubrey Logan, and that's how I learned about her. And the fact that she plays a trombone, totally forgot. PMJ is just so good. That ending, I really, really liked the ending. Just how it cut off right after the word Annie, I thought was so nice. And then to also make it more of a cover. This is the perfect example of a cover. You take an original and you really make it your own, but you add little components of the original to where people can still recognize it. But the additions of I don't know, I thought was so nice. And Scott playing on the piano when he started playing in the piano's upper register. I thought that added so much of a cool texture. There's so many different layers and textures within this composition, and I feel like PMJ is really good at figuring out what those layers are supposed to be and then figuring out how to mesh them all together to sound like one cohesive piece. Honestly, so good. Aubrey's vocals were incredible here. Very different from the vocals that I heard in the one performance I've heard of her. This seemed a bit more consistent. She seemed so relaxed in the chest voice and just spewing out words in order to tell a story. Yes, it's nice, her voice is great, but the fact that she was able to tell a story, and that was for me at least as the viewer, the main component of her performance, unbeatable. That is truly the goal. All of her facial expressions, all of her body movements, none of it was too much to where it took away from what was going on lyrically and compositionally, but it was enough to where I believed she was putting herself in the scene of this crime scene and figuring out if Annie really was okay. If you liked all that you saw, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and comment down below what cover by your favorite artist you would like me to do a performance analysis on. Lastly, make sure to check out the description box for ways you can keep in touch with me, get access to exclusive perks, check out the Soprano Notes blog with tons of musical educational topics, and or take a lesson with me. I hope you have a good day and I'll see you soon. Bye!